for economic, like you spoke about the community and the opportunities that it creates for our community. And the downstream effects of that with it being in Laurel, Newcastle being 4 Minute Drive, 79 and 80 being right up the road in Grove City. I mean, me and my wife, we like camping. We don't go all the time because of some of the substandard services that they have at a lot of places. You know, we're millennials, we like to have all of our stuff, you know, video games, we have kids, we like to have all those amenities included, but I think from Ricky's presentation is a great example of vision where Lawrence County, you know, often we hear so much about, you know, obviously we talk about manufacturing, job creation, things like that, all the time.
That's important stuff too.
Very important stuff. But from my end, as being mayor of Newcastle, we don't see as much of it, how it kind of reverberates all throughout the area and how many people can be connected to it, and how it can impact our local businesses, the flower shops, the pizza shops, the small businesses. And I think this is one that could really potentially do that. And I'm excited for it. I'm thankful that you reached out to me. And I had to tell him the first meeting, I'm like, I don't have any jurisdiction over those places, but I think through relationships, though, there is opportunity that we would be supportive from the city standpoint of working with our neighbors to try to help this come to pass. Especially, the presentation was great, the idea is great, and it's backed by a lot of research, and as you can see, that you have a lot of experience in doing these types of things. So I'm just thank you for presenting that to us.
I appreciate it.
Ricky, so the nuts and bolts on things, all the infrastructure is really present there at that particular location? Because we haven't explored that from our standpoint.
Well, that's a really good question that I forgot to mention in there. There's so much more I could have put in this presentation, so many more details. But fortunately, one of the things that attracted me to this project is that it already has all of the drainage in place that we need. And we can connect to sewer and water, sewer, which is right there.
Yeah.
The only thing we'll need is a water well, which is common in every campground. A lot of campgrounds don't connect to city water. They get it.
You
from
couldn't
their
connect to PA American Water, or you don't want to?
Not sure, so I'm going to leave that up to
Okay.
the engineers what they advise. But
Okay.
we may connect to we may do it with a well, or we may connect. We'll see which is the best one. But yes, the drainage is there, which is huge. We don't have to put the drainage.
Storm or sanitary? Which are you talking about? Storm.
drainage.
Sewage is there too, stormwater. The ENF stormwater controls have already been in place, correct?
Yes.
And the sewage is right at the front of the property, so.
So that's good.
So, yeah, that's a big thing.
Sewage at the front as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ripe for development. One thing that Chris mentioned that's true, when you go to a normal campground, many times, like we experienced here, I keep mentioning the Mercer one because we stayed there multiple times. We stayed there, I think, 3 times, and we liked that campground. To get there, you have to, especially when you're driving, our trailer is short, it's 24 feet. You know, it's a starter, we don't want to start with something big. But most people have like at least 27 feet or 30 feet foot trailer. You have to go through these winding, narrow roads up and down hills, and there's one place where you have to go through a 1-lane bridge. So even the campground says, don't go there, go around, but that's the path that's indicated from the expressway. It says, go this way for KOA campground. This one has easy connectivity to 3 expressways, 376, 79, and I-80 also, as well as a 422, which is it's all right there, it's very easy to connect to. I have some preliminary, just like business cards. If you want a copy of this presentation, you just email me and I'll email it to you. Any other questions about the site, about the property, about the project?
There's a couple of things. One, you also have natural gas there, which is critical for your heating system for your dome.
Yes.
So that's already there. I don't know how many jobs in your overall view, how many permanent jobs do you think that would create there? 40, 50 jobs, 100 jobs?
Half of that. Well, that's one thing that the campground, you don't need a lot of people to run the campground, so we'll have about 20 to 25 jobs, permanent jobs for the campground.
But you also have the office out front.
Yep. we'll have the
Big
office
commercial
out-
retail out front.
Exactly. So there's
And you also have contractors doing the maintenance for mowing and plowing roads and all that stuff too, so.
Exactly. So there are those, the indirect jobs that are created because of the campground. But the campground itself will require about 25 people to run
So Ricky, timing on all this, you said that the land development plan, you've got that into the county already?
it. No,
No.
that's the next step.
Okay.
First, I wanted to present it to you, something that could come out of this meeting, for example, is now I have all of your contact information, I can say, well, I'm submitting the preliminary plan, take a look. And then somebody on the team can say, when you submit it, let me know, let me make a phone call. I've had that happen for me in Miami, by the way, and in Chicago, especially in Chicago. You can take, a year to get a permit, or a month and a half, like I was getting it, because the alderman made a phone call. Or somebody that was in the political, it's just the way that it works, it's all over the country. I wish I could say, I know I'm gonna get prioritized, but that's not the case. So we do need the community input and favor. So people calling the city say, well, I heard that the royalty campground has been submitted. I want to talk to the director of zoning and, express my support for the project because we believe it's good to the community. Another thing they can do is, I have about 140 sites on this. They can say, we'll approve it, but just, 20 sites, which is not beneficial for the business, So we don't want to do, we don't want to do far more than what the community can bear, but we also don't want to go really low where, the zoning, the zoning people say, well, let's push it down, but it doesn't benefit the business. So it has to be, we want to maximize the benefit for the business, but also find that balance. And that's help that we can get, political and community help that we can get from that.
So was the Hickory Township supervisor here? Was that the gentleman? I didn't know that the man was over there.
Oh, no, that was
No.
it.
No.
No, he could, Alan.
Okay. Alan Miller
Alan
Alan
Miller
Miller
is.
is the planning, he's,
For Lawrence County.
he's with Lawrence County. But if you're telling me it has to be a zoning
It's Hickory Township.
hearing board, then you really, we need to know who those people are, because I don't know who they are.
Okay. So
Bill
it is
Dean.
Hickory.
Bill Dean's one I live in Laurel. I have a farm right. a
Not
stone's
too
throw
far
from-
away?
Not too far away. But just let me comment just one thing. The mayor wasn't here. If you've ever done RVing, and I went to West Palm for three weeks and stayed. I'm going to tell you how many trips I made to different not Kmart's, different places. Unbelievable, because you don't carry everything with you. You go there, and what do? You go get what you need. My gosh. So I understand the impact of having more than less, because it's going to make more impact on the community. And I didn't know that until I did. I just RV'd for the first time. Okay.
They all go to the local supermarket.
Yes.
So all of these families stop at this local supermarket, and suddenly the local supermarket starts saying, why is our meat going so fast? Why are
Yeah.
we